Work to remove the massive log jam along the Raccoon River started today, and you can see there's lots of logs there. Logs and other tree debris started building up near where the Raccoon River meets the Des Moines River back in May. We reported on it then. Officials say heavy rains brought it all downstream after years of drought. The city of Des Moines says it hired a contractor with special equipment for the removal. Part of the Meredith Trail has been shut down during the work. Officials say pedestrians and cyclists should stay away from the trail between Southwest 1st Street Bridge and the 5th Street Bridge for the time being.
Right now in Newton, drivers are taking their practice laps around the fastest short track on the planet.
Oh, so excited for this. It's the first day of the Hy-Vee IndyCar race weekend. KCCI's Bo Bowman is live at the Iowa Speedway tonight, where it was just announced that IndyCar will come back for years to come, Bo.
Yeah, Ben and Stacy, a lot of fans here already getting excited watching these practice laps behind me here on the track at the Iowa Speedway, those final tune-ups before the real races start tomorrow. And they're even more excited about the announcement earlier this week that Hy-Vee and IndyCar were able to reach an agreement and make an extension to bring back the race for years to come. IndyCar called their event here at the Iowa Speedway one of the most popular and unique stops on their annual tour. Local officials in Newton say over the last 3 years it's brought in almost $100 million, not only to Newton but to all of the surrounding communities that host fans in their hotels and restaurants. And it's not just those big retailers that benefit, but everyone in the hospitality industry, including small businesses.
But the mom and pop shops and the little restaurants and the little service businesses, they look to see a huge impact on their businesses. That always makes everybody happy and makes everybody look forward to the future.
Now, IndyCar and Hy-Vee have not said just how long this extension will keep the race here in Newton, only that it's a multi-year deal. I'm joined now by KCCI's Shannon Earhart. And Shannon, it's going to be a hot one here in Newton this week, but fans and drivers will get a little bit of reprieve from the heat because we got a night race this year.
I don't know if you guys known, but the past 2 years we have been at these races under the hot Iowa sun baking.
It's been hot.
Imagine how drivers have felt in that. Not tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is a night race, and for the first time since 2020, they have brought a night race to the Iowa Speedway. I talked to the drivers who told me they prefer the cooler weather. They like that the track gets colder. They like that the temperature drops. Graham Hall said that a cooler temperature brings cooler bodies and cooler cars. Alex Rossi told me that a happier engine also means a happier driver.
It's a more kind of enjoyable event from that standpoint. I think the cars look amazing under the lights. You see the sparks from when they bottom out. So it's visually very impressive, and it's just a little bit easier all around on everyone who's involved in it, just because it's slightly cooler.
A busy track session here with practice happening earlier today. People are saying that they could see the fastest track times tomorrow in qualifying when those drivers take the track, as we have talked about many times before, just how speedy this has gotten. For now, I'm live at the Iowa Speedway. Shannon Earhart, KCCI Iowa Sports Leader.
It's going to be one heck of a weekend out there, that's for sure. Shannon, thank you.
The Register's annual Great Bicycle Ride Across Iowa is just about a week away, hard to believe, and thousands of people are gearing up for this ride. After decades, many Iowans have their own RAGBRAI stories.
Laura Terrell shows us how the documentary Shift aims to capture those stories.
Shift follows the riders and communities involved in the Great Ride Across Iowa in 2022.
Small town, 850 people that are going to have nearly 20,000 people here.
The film featured Ian Zarin and Andrew Boddicker. They organized the ride stop in Lansing. The couple says Shift captures the spirit of Iowa.
Watching that documentary was a reminder that those are the values, compassion, empathy, hard work. Those are the values that Iowans still have and still show strongly.
The small town saw a $115,000 economic impact, the biggest for any RAGBRAI stop in 2022.
We raised about 4 to 5 times more than the rest of the towns had ever raised. So, and we did that through collaboration and critical thinking and creativity.
They say as a same-sex couple, Shift highlighted a story that is not often told in rural Iowa. They think stories like these are what makes RAGBRAI and Shift so special.
I want people to watch it because I think they'll be inspired to get involved or to do RAGBRAI, because it is a place to search and to find and to meet all manner of people.
Now another set of towns is getting ready for this year's riders, starting in Glenwood and ending in Burlington. In Greenfield, it will be a bittersweet welcome.
We didn't know how people in town would feel, like if it's really insensitive.
4 people died in an EF4 tornado this spring. The town is still rebuilding, but ultimately decided they could not turn down this opportunity.
But we had lots and lots of meetings with, the fire department and the police department and RAGBRAI team and just different groups in town. Talked to people, that had lost everything, and everyone pretty much unanimously said, let's do it.
Riders will go through the disaster area, but the meetup spot is on another side of town. They'll need all the help they can get as people ride through. Laura Terrell, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
The Des Moines Register produced Shift. It's now available on the free Very Local app.
Weeks after the Greenfield tornado, the community is starting to see new, surprising growth. Corn is growing in some pretty odd places, definitely not where it was planted. Wendy Lane sent us these pictures. Now this corn is starting to pop up in the grass along some of the streets in town and right here by the stop sign. Some corn plants are also growing near the destruction left behind by that storm. It's believed the tornado stirred the seeds in nearby fields and deposited those seeds all over the town.
Well, we've got a ton of events out there this weekend and a ton of heat moving in as well. I'll be breaking down how hot we'll get and when we see a little bit of relief.
On the edge for a good cause, the fundraising effort that took people to new heights in downtown Des Moines.
A surge in private school scholarships in our state, the big announcement from the governor about Iowa students next year.
This is Iowa's news leader, KCCI 8 News at 6.
Conservative Christians rallied in Des Moines today at the annual Family Leadership Summit. They called for socially conservative policies ahead of the November election.
Chief political reporter Amanda Rooker is in Des Moines, where the conference ended with a big announcement from Governor Kim Reynolds.
Well, things are winding down here in this Des Moines ballroom, but earlier today, this area was packed with conservative Christians as they listened to several speakers talk about things including education. One of those speakers, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, who announced that 30,000 Iowans plan to use the state's private school scholarship programs next year. That was one of the big announcements that was made today. The annual Family Leadership Summit brought evangelicals from across the Midwest to Des Moines to rally for socially conservative policy. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds and former U.S. Education Secretary Betsy DeVos were among the top speakers. After thoroughly discussing education policy, they were also asked about women's sports. Reynolds referenced Iowa's 2022 law banning transgender girls from participating in girls' sports. But Reynolds said that law has been hamstrung by gender policy from the Biden administration. Iowa joined 20 states in a lawsuit over those federal regulations.
They're continuing to try to attack women and to go after us, and they've been paused again. I will be okay, I think, but again, that's why this election is just so important. The insanity that's coming out of this administration and their attack on women is just unconscionable.
During the summit, Governor Reynolds also mentioned that she holds monthly meetings with the Family Leader Organization and pastors, and that those meetings influence Iowa policy on things like abortion and those private school scholarships. In Des Moines, Amanda Rooker, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
All right, here's something you don't see every day. People rappelling down the side of Wells Fargo Arena. This happened today. They got a chance to see the city skyline, the Capitol and river from brand new heights before the drop. But here's the cool thing. It was part of the Over the Edge fundraiser for Scouting America to help fund programs for young Iowans. Organizers say it might look scary, but each participant was pumped to take part.
Everyone's really excited. A lot of people are this is the first time that they've ever done anything like this. It is not a requirement that you've ever rappelled before in your life. So for a lot of people, this is a bucket list item, and they're really excited to check it off today.
Hopefully somebody involved, though, has rappelled before, so they can go ahead and handle the X's and O's. Participants had to raise a minimum of $1,000 to be able to rappel the 4 stories down to the ground.
I'm glad somebody enjoyed that. It was a good cause, but
Right?
There's no way, I don't think we'd be doing that.
Oh, I mean,
would you?
I would love to do it.
I would sign up.
Would you
too.
really?
Yeah. But we would trust you again to kind of be handle all everything for us and just let us do all the work.
Do the logistics. We want the fun.
There we go. The fun. I should
Nobody
say.
wants that.
Would have been a good day for it, though. I mean,
100%.
Yeah.
I guess, is it ever really a good day to rappel off a building?
If you want to.
Yeah, if it's your thing. Yeah,
there we go. Right?
Yeah, so I mean, the peak heat hasn't gotten here just yet. But you look at the next couple days, if you're headed out to the IndyCar weekend, make sure you've got maybe that big brimmed hat on. You got a lot of water along with you. I know those beers are floating around out there like flies, but make sure you're drinking that water too. 92 on Saturday. Feels like temperatures upwards of triple digits, and we could see heat indices around 105 to 108 on Sunday. And especially as you get down by that pavement, whoo, that's going to be a hot one. So just be wary of that. You can see your feels like temperatures tomorrow afternoon, triple digits for Lamoni. We'll have a host of cities that aren't popping up as triple digits on the map actually see that, but those will become much more widespread into the day on Sunday as we peak out at 105 for the metro, 104 for Iowa City, and then into Monday we get even more warmth. Could be one of the hotter days that we see, but eventually a front's going to slide down, which we'll talk about in a second. That's going to help to cool us off Monday into Tuesday. Right now, though, still warm. 86 for the metro, 83 for Ames. Mason City coming in at 81. And we don't have any clouds out there either. Maybe a stray shower making its way towards Omaha. But that is about it for us. So on your hour by hour, notice the heat to the side. Could see a stray shower or storm early throughout the morning tomorrow. But again, not going to be that widespread. Most of the showers and thunderstorms we're going to see over the next 48 hours are going to be up into Minnesota and east of us, though we could still see a pop-up shower or thunderstorm here or there. Again, it's just going to be really, really isolated if we do see that. But you look ahead here, Monday into Tuesday, that front drops down, brings in the chance chances for storms late Monday night into early Tuesday, and that is going to drive in some cooler, drier air behind it and eventually drop our temperatures back into the low 80s by the middle of the week. So relief is on the way, but it's not going to be here for the next few days. You look at Big Creek, things are looking good. Algona got a little bit of cloud cover. Otherwise, a pretty nice night out there as we sit at 86. A little bit of a breeze trying to help us out, but that feels like temperature still at 91. If you're headed out to Ankeny Summerfest, again, pack that water. You're going to need it as we've got that temperature building back up into the middle 90s. It's going to be sticky for the next few days. And once that front rolls through, we will see that humidity finally drop off and that heat drop off as well. Temperatures down into the low 70s out there. Again, we've got a quiet night ahead for you. And as we head into the next few days here, we have weather impact days. Again, this could be dangerous heat, especially if you're not drinking your water, you're not staying hydrated, and if you're standing in direct sun, that's a dangerous setup. But after that, we're back down into the low to mid 80s for a while here. More sunshine on the way as even our overnight lows dip into the 50s.
I'm in the thick of the action on Family Fun Friday. There are kids everywhere. There are people running around. There is stuff you will not want to miss. Stay tuned.